The best looking microphone arm out there might now be mine. Welcome, Sosotech here with a brand new K&M 23860. Let's open it up. Packaging is minimal cardboard, economical, functional. The table clamp has a massive design, which I like a lot. Compared to the minimal surface area actually needed for a clamp, this one adds a lot with an extra casing, but it feels much more reliable, stable, massive, and it feels good. Also feels good to the touch, most of it being smooth black metal, and the rest being a kind of rough plastic. There is a threaded 3/8 to 5/8 inch adapter, which is made from plastic. Intuitively it feels a bit weak, simply because I'm used to these connection parts being made of metal. We'll see how it performs later. There is a quick starter single-page manual included. You can also find it online as a PDF. It's metric system only, but in this video I give imperial measurements too. The arm is wrapped in plastic and secured by the most massive and least processed looking rubber band I've ever seen. It feels like it was hand punched out of tree sap. I love it. König Meyer made in Germany, apparently called K&M for localization. Up to 1.5 kilograms maximum load, that's 3.3 pounds. The color is rough black matte and very pleasing to both touch and eye. The arm comes with an XLR cable, total length is 6 meters, nearly 20 feet. This means from the base there is 4.5 meters or 15.6 feet of cable left for you. First, let's install the clamp. As you can see, my setup is a bit irregular. I have a normal desk surface is 72.5 centimeters above the floor, that's 28.55 inches. The table board is 1.9 centimeters thick, 3/4 of an inch. Below it I have a movable desk, surface is 66 centimeters above the floor, 26 inches. The small table board thickness is 2 centimeters, 0.78 inches. The clamp works with boards up to 48 millimeters, 1.88 inches. As a test I'm installing the clamp to a random spot on the table edge. It feels very stable. I want to clamp it up to the movable table. However, the underside construction is uneven. This makes the installation very unstable. At the same time, this is too close to my work area. I need to move that joint further away from me. I try installing it on the left side of the main desk. This is still too close to where I sit, but it's good to try out different spots. I settle on the far right end of the table in the end. Once the clamp is installed, I just let the mic arm pin slide into the opening of a table clamp. The clamp screw can be tightened to keep the arm from rotating. The instructions tell me to tighten the clamp screw. However, in my daily use I switch very often between recording and other work, and I leave this clamp open so that I can easily pan the mic out of the way. When the joints are not adjusted, this is the default position of the mic arm, just like in the manual. The wing nuts let me set the angle in which the joints are open. The spring tension is super strong, had me worried about breaking the table clamp or even the table when I first forced the arm into a different position. I definitely recommend trying out poses without attaching a mic first. The 23860 allows for a lot of flexibility, so you can find that sweet spot pose. Letting the microphone hang down might be a solution, of course not an option for seeing the monitor screen during recordings. I really like a sideways arrangement. The most impressive thing is that if you set the wing nuts just right, you can push and pull the mic into any position without having to reset the wing nuts. This proved true for the middle wing nut and to some degree to the top one. It is also somewhat true for the bottom wing nut, but I always hold the table clamp down with one hand when moving the lower tube. Still a bit worried about the spring tension versus the table strength. The mic arm has a threaded 3/8 inch connector. It ships with a 5/8 inch adapter made of plastic. If I wanted to directly attach a 1/4 inch microphone like a Zoom H2n or a Zoom H1, I would have to get an additional adapter or a shock mount. I happen to have a shock mount around and that one works perfectly. To attach my 5/8 microphone, I screwed the adapter into its connector. It didn't go in smoothly, but the adapter has a slit which makes it easier to get it in there. Then I screwed it onto the arm. I manage the XLR cable by placing it in the inside area of a clamp, since I'll be using a USB microphone and don't need the XLR cable right now. To stabilize the cable at the top end, I used 2 zip ties. I used additional zip ties to make the USB and audio cable run along the tubes of the mic arm. Let's test how quiet the mic arm joints are. So we're going to be placing the microphone next to the movable parts and listen in on how these movable parts sound like. That was nice and quiet, wasn't it? Alright, let's untighten this one. And let's tighten it. And let's untighten this one. Oh, so very, very quiet. And finally, let's tighten this one. Well, this could use a bit of oil, but really that's not part of the construction, it's just the thing that holds the arm. After a month or two, I will make another video and talk about how it feels to use it long term. So subscribe and watch when it's online. For USB microphone users, I will make a video for dealing with integrated XLR cables. Watch that one as well. Until next time, ciao!